Zombies. Zombies.
Yeah, zombies. There's a reason I play that. One, I accidentally clicked on it earlier as I was doing show prep. I meant to click something else, and I'm like, oh, zombies. Now, don't you freak out. Don't be like, oh my God, just talking zombie. What's going on with today's show? Guess what? It is what it is, okay? Deal with it. Look at the description of some of the topics that we're talking about today. Huh? Not the weirdest thing. Not the weirdest thing to be talking about zombies. We'll get into that a little bit later. But that soundbite mixed with a brief conversation I had with some coaches last night after practice, Coach Carl, Coach Chris, this all mixes together. And you know how you and I, our brains work differently, okay? We go down weird paths. That's what happens. It's everybody's brain, but let's be honest. Let's make you and I feel special right now. Let's do that. So we're talking last night about how we can't, when it comes to the main, I can't even think of what it's called. The valve system of a sprinkler system, that stuff like just baffles our brains. You might be listening to this and go, oh, that's easy. I'll tell you what's easy. I can fix sprinkler heads, and I can reroute tubing and move a sprinkler head. But when it comes to soldering pipe and stuff like that, that stuff freaks me out. I'm not good with that. You know what I'm good with? Laying some pipe. Just ask your mother. Oh, my God. Connery, God. Anyway, we'll talk to you another time, okay? So we're talking about that, and like I can't disagree with them because I'm right there with them. And then I accidentally played the zombie soundbite before the show, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be like some of the first to go, aren't we? Because you're going to have to be crafty in a zombie apocalypse. If I'm the guy that can't even solder a pipe, I'm probably not going to last very long in a zombie apocalypse. Is that, am I mathing right or am I mathing wrong? Do they not go together? Although maybe they don't go together. I might be able to fight off zombies, but I'm not going to make a survivable community. I'll have to, what is that? Procure some individuals, get them over here to be part of my clan, my tribe, whatever you want to call it, and say, hey, we need people over here. Do you know how to solder pipe? And then I'd be like, yes, because I laid pipe this morning. Connery, God. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? And it does make your brain work. Like, who would be the individuals if you had to, in your friend group, coworker group, whatever you want to say, do you have a set, like, oh, I definitely want this individual here? Because you don't want entertainers, okay? You want people. I don't give a shit if you're funny or not. I want somebody that is going to go, okay, they might be good at hunting. We need a good hunter. We need somebody that's good at, building stuff. Like in my head, I already have a group of people that I'd be like, if shit hits the fan, we got to somehow work our way into their community. And I'm afraid, guys, I'm not going to be on anybody's wish list. I'm not. They're going to be like, DeHuff, you know what? Let's circle back on that one. I don't know. I guess if we have room. Somebody's going to have to be the guy that goes around and picks up feces. I don't know. That'll be DeHuff. I'll be the bucket cleaner, okay? I don't have any good skills. Survival skills. I'm fucked. I need to start prepping now. Because zombie apocalypse is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Zombies.
Yep. Anyway, that's what we call Squirrel moment. You're welcome. Anyway, guys, we got a great show coming your way. Uber is going to start doing helicopter rides. We'll get into that. That's kind of exciting. Exciting. I'll share my story about when I got to fly a helicopter. That was actually a lot of fun. Annoying fire rescue. Boy, we've had a lot of first responders conversations lately, and this one drives me nuts. A U.S. drone shot a Hellfire missile at a UAP or a UFO, whatever you want to call it. That's on major news outlets. That's wild. Deion Sanders, head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes football team, ripped the media. Ripped the media. And I have not seen one media outlet or one media just individual react to this soundbite, and I want to so bad, and we're gonna do it. I love it. And the Denver Broncos find their new ideal neighborhood, and I'm all for it. We'll get into that, but real quick, hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, whatever. Interact with the show any way you can, whether it's just leaving a review on the episode or if you're able to make a comment, go ahead and do that. It could be an egg, and we'll be all. Actually, today, why not just do an alien or a spaceship for that one? Because that story is just wild. We'll get into that. But anyway, don't forget today's show is presented to you by the great people over at Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. I'll tell you more about Roof Goat USA in just a little bit, but right now, let's do it. Let's jump into headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
This is pretty cool because it's cool, but then I'm afraid this might get a little messy. We've always talked about, years and years ago. Remember the show The Jetsons, and everybody thinks that if you were back in the 60s, 70s, you were thinking by 2025 we'd have flying cars everywhere. Well, this isn't exactly flying cars, but it is going to make traffic in the air potentially a little bit more congested. Uber just signed a deal as it's planning to let customers book helicopter rides through its app as soon as next year, 2026. I think on one hand, it's cool. It's really cool. On the other hand, I don't know. It's going to be people, spending their money, and dickheads are going to be showing up, landing at an event or somebody's birthday party or whatever, and it's going to be a helicopter landing in somebody's front yard. That's going to irritate the shit out of me. What's that fucking sound? I'm trying to take a nap. Oh, it's just Carlos down the street. Apparently, he's going to King Soopers and needed a lift to the store. It's not going to be people. Listen, if you want to shit away your money, you shit away your money. But that's what's going to be annoying. It's going to be somewhat disruptive. This is just me being a fucking dick. Okay, if I could do it, I would do it. It depending on how much it costs or whatever, I would do it. I told you, I teased it at the beginning. There was a time where for the radio station, it was supposed to be Mike Evans that did this video shoot at the Rocky Mountain Airport here in the Broomfield area here in Colorado. They were supposed to do some video shoot for this. I don't remember the company, but it was for people that wanted to learn how to fly helicopters. Mike chickened out. He says he forgot. But anyway, I get the last second call because at the time, my shift didn't start till, say, noon. I get a phone call at 8 o'clock to Huff, can you go and show up and do this video shoot? I show up. I have a fear of heights, but I do a video shoot where I go up in the helicopter. There's no doors on the side, which when you get to a certain height, it doesn't seem to fucking matter. It was bizarre. I was nervous when I was about, say, 20, 30 feet up. But once you're 100 plus feet up, I just wasn't scared like if I fall, what's it? Who cares, I guess. But it was really cool, a really fun thing. And there's a lot going on. You got foot pedals, you got your hand pedals, you got a lever on the side. It's really neat. Gotta be honest. I think I could fly. I think after a week of intense training, I could be a helicopter pilot. Not for like the military. Jesus, those guys are insane. I'm just saying I could be a basic level helicopter pilot. Zombie apocalypse, circling back to the beginning. I could, in a pinch, I think I could, if zombies are chasing us, the helicopter's already on, I could, jump in there and get us off the ground and hopefully move forward. I think I could do that. Now, hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but would you be excited to go on an Uber ride that was a helicopter ride? It's not going to be like some dickhead McGee who just happens to, hey, I applied for it. I'm really good at driving a car. Why not take a crack at, being a helicopter pilot? Like me. Like, I think I can fly a helicopter. These are probably going to be vetted very well as far as pilots and their credibility to be an Uber pilot. But would you do that? Assuming that it was a reasonable price, why not? That would be fun. Firefighters in England responded to a call for an animal in need of rescue. Oh my God, what is it? A dog, a cat, a horse, something like that. No. In Berkshire, in England, they had to climb up a tree because a stupid lizard was stranded up there. That's annoying. Come on. First responders shouldn't have to worry about that. And I saw the picture. It's like a little tiny fucking lizard. Even if it was a giant lizard, just leave it up there. God, it's probably the happiest it's been ever since you put it in its little fucking cage or its little whatever it is. Okay? Jesus Christ. Then you have this like giant person coming after you. You're the lizard, and you're like, God damn it. I had freedom for a moment. Then you had to call the emergency line, you dicks. Cowboy to Huff, how would you handle that if you were a firefighter and you got the call to go climb the tree to save a little lizard? Basically, I'd climb up that tree. I'd gently grab it, okay? My big old firefighter gloves. And then I'd drop that son of a bitch on the head of the a-hole that maybe climbed a tree for catching a stupid lizard. That's dumb. I don't care. That ain't all balls. Who called the emergency line? Son of a gun. Yeah, that's a waste of people's time. And now I got that image in my head of Cowboy Huff climbing up a tree, gently grabbing it, and then just chucking it at somebody's head. Who throws a lizard? Come on. Firefighters, first responders, you deal with a lot of dumb shit. God. Well, this is not something I was expecting to see. I posted the video on my Facebook page, facebook.com/DeHuffPodcast. A U.S. Reaper drone shot a Hellfire missile at a UAP off the coast of Yemen. This was in 2024, so last year. And it basically moved the UAP a little, and it kept going on its way. Now, it may have caused some... it was moving with the same intensity it was before. It didn't crash. There was no apparent damage. This video was shown at a congressional hearing yesterday. And there were several service individuals there witnessing the footage. And this got brought up, and this does not make me feel good.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't want to hear that. Yeah, this scares the shit out of me. These are servicemen that have seen some wicked shit in their life. And then they see this video of a UAP taking a direct hit from a U.S. Reaper drone, Hellfire missile, and it essentially just does nothing to it. And they're like, does this concern you? Fuck yeah, it does. Yes. Who wouldn't be freaked out about that? Oh my God. Guys, this is bizarre. So bizarre. I don't, like, we were talking about that whole Atlas 3I, that it might be a comet, it might be a spacecraft. Holy God, I did not think, if I were to rewind 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and anything like that, I would never think that we'd be in this position where we're talking about potential alien spacecraft ripping through space to make its way towards Earth, potential. And then also having military footage of a United States aircraft launching a missile at a UAP, a UFO, and hitting said UAP, and it does nothing to it. I never thought that we'd be in this position. Never thought we would. And then to hear service members saying this.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh my God. We're so fucked. We're so fucked. Now, here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. We'll get into other stuff real quick, but it didn't fire back at our aircraft. So I guess it's good. Or it's just sitting there going, oh my God, that's adorable. It tried to hurt us. It's like a little puppy nibbling on your hand. That's what that was. You know, they don't know what's going on. They bite you, or, you know, they're just being playful. That's what it thought was happening. They're like, this is so cute. Look at them. And they're toys. Oh. And then they just go about their way. Oh, you kind of knocked me off my path a little bit. Don't worry. Wasn't that bad. That's crazy. It makes you just think about, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. I feel like seeing footage like that is just so jaw-dropping. You're like, I think this is real. I think this shit's real. And then at what point are we going to have the interaction with them? Like, officially, like, hey guys, I'm an alien and I'm taking over the airwaves. You guys and your little cutesy pootsy weapons. It essentially tickles, okay, how much you think it's going to hurt us. But anyway, we're going to take over the planet. Are they going to have sex slaves? I'm just asking for a friend. Okay. Connor, Jesus. Listen, I'm open. Okay, I don't care if it's an alien or not. Okay. Nobody's surprised in that one, Connery. Nobody. That you'd bang an alien. We're not ready for this. Go to the we were talking about grocery stores earlier. Go to the grocery store. If all of a sudden you get the news that aliens are coming to Earth, how do you think we're going to respond? Remember, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when we had a virus going through the world and everybody in the United States just freaked out and bought way too much toilet paper? Remember that? That was so bizarre. How are we going to handle freaking aliens? We can't. Do you think that's going to be? Let's say it does. Let's say tomorrow we get some crawler across the television that says, hey, guys, guess what? Aliens are coming. Going to be at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, whatever it is, Mountain Standard Time, whatever. How do you think people are going to react? Weapons, water, and toilet paper. That's what's going to go nutty. It's stupid, but weird. It's, I don't know. What would you, God, this is like the doom and gloom show because we started talking about zombies. What do you do in a zombie apocalypse? What do you do in an alien apocalypse? They're going to be much more intelligent than zombies. If we're going by the letter of the law that is movies, movie zombies are just going to eat you or, attack people with no overwhelming sense of intelligence. Whereas you would assume that if there's alien technology that can withstand a U.S. Hellfire missile, that it's pretty legit. That means the individuals that are responsible for creating that are quite intelligent. I mean, and if they're going to be our foe, that's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. I'm just saying. Maybe Connery's right. Maybe we just need to offer ourselves up as sex slaves. That's how we survive. I don't know. Finally, we are on the same page. Sex slave united. Okay, somebody's gonna get offended by that, but it's kind of, I don't know. How do you survive in that? You gotta. You could fight. Oh God, I don't know. We're going way down a stupid rabbit hole. Way down the rabbit hole. Hey, everybody, you're down the rabbit hole? Yes, I am. It's quite dark in here and quite frightening it is. Oh, my gosh. Golly. Watch the video. Tell me what you think. I don't even know. Ugh. But I'm not going to freak out about it. It's not going to keep me up at night. I'm going to go to bed in my comfy bed and deal with that, enjoy my life and wait for the aliens to show up. And then, maybe do some sit-ups a little bit more push-ups. And then that way I'm a little bit more attractive once the aliens come down. And unless they're into dad bods, then maybe I just, eat more. Hey, what do you think they're into? Let me know. Duff Podcast. We're looking for dad bods. It really gets us going. Is that my alien voice? I'm from another planet, another solar system. Go. We love the dad bods. We got sports in the mailbag right around the corner. But right now, when it comes to roof repairs, you're going to want to go with the best. You're going to want to go with the GOAT. Before the alien invasion, you need to call the GOAT. Roof Goat USA. They've been in business for over 23 years. They understand the headaches that come with fixing a roof, whether it's repair, replacement, insurance claims. Listen, Roof Goat USA's experienced professionals, they have dealt with it all. And they're committed to delivering reliable and durable solutions. And you know what? They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, making sure that your home is well protected against the elements. One, as they do the repairs, and two, long after, because they do it right. They do. In fact, Roof Goat USA guarantees their work. They got a 30-year coverage from install date that covers all materials and labor, again, for 30 years from date of install. That's the Roof Goat USA way. So for all your roofing needs, go ahead, do it right now. Contact the GOAT before the invasion. Okay, 303-495-4630. 303-495-4630, or go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Experience the Roof Goat USA difference today before the invasion. Okay, sorry, I'm dumb. Let's jump into sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Well, Deion Sanders, head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, all eyes were on his press conference yesterday. I tuned into it. And the big question is, was he going to announce, or I think everybody just assumed he was going to announce, myself included. I said it yesterday, that he was going to announce who the starting quarterback was going to be against Houston. I believe they play Friday night. And because Ryan Staub played so well against Delaware when he stepped in. So we were just waiting for it. And sure enough, I believe the first question was in regards to that. Who's going to be, are you going to make, he said, like, are you going to make the announcement that Ryan Staub is going to be the starter against Houston? And it kind of rubbed Deion the wrong way.
You know, in today's media, we don't care about being correct anymore. We just want to be first. And there's no subjection to you when you're wrong. Nobody says nothing. You just go with it. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's where we are in media. Nobody gives a darn about being correct and being right. Everybody just want to be first. That don't make no sense to me. I would love the integrity that we once had with media. I would love that.
There's two sides to this. Deion, I agree. Everybody is so overwhelmed with the idea, we got to be first. We talked about that not too long ago. The reason why is whoever goes out there and posts something first, it's more likely to get picked up by larger entities. I could post something. Oh, Deion Sanders announces Ryan Staub as the starting quarterback. And guess what? That tweet is going to be embedded on articles, and I'm going to get a lot of notoriety for it, right? It's stuff like that. And news agencies do that too. And they're like, it's going to get retweeted, and it's just great advertising for the station, right? I get that's why they do it. But I'm telling Deion, that's why they do it. Doesn't make it right. He's correct with the idea. I'd rather be correct than first. I'd rather do it the right way than be first. But that being said, even though I'm not 100% affiliated with a station, although I do work with Mile High Sports, I suggest you follow them. They do a fantastic job of covering all the sports in Colorado. Even the CSU Rams, who are terrible, at least their quarterback is. Sorry, I want the Rams to do well, but come on. But anyway, follow them at Mile High Sports. But the thing is, even I fall into that trap of trying to get something out first. Sooner I get it out there, the more likely I'm going to get traction on it, and it's going to spread like wildfire. I earn money. I'm monetized on Facebook. So if I see something early, I try to get it up there quick. And like the whole Phillies Karen thing, getting that video up there, editing it so it's my own, and I'm not completely stealing somebody else's. So that means like I'll add like a caption to it and whatnot. And that way it's less likely to get pulled down. So get that up as soon as possible so it starts getting shared all over the place, and I make money off of it. Not a lot, but enough where I'm like, oh, this is beneficial to me. And that's the world we live in. There's people that make money off of Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's why they do it. It's all about money. And to Coach Prime's credit, that's what he's calling out without really digging deep into why they're doing it. But that's why they're doing it, Coach Prime. Is they're all about the advertising and the monetizing. So that's what it is. But good for Deion for calling it out. And he's absolutely right. People are going to go, let's just go ahead and go with it. And it's Ryan Staub. Or whatever the narrative that they want to push, whatever they want to do. That's what it is. I like that he did it. I like posting that shit because remember, I think it was last year. I should repost that. Oh, to be a dick. Just to be a dick. And it did really well. Is when Deion ripped one of it was that guy that was saying horrible things. Sean Keeler, I think is his name, who kept saying terrible things about Deion and his players, writing articles, terrible things, and then Deion called him out on it. Oh my God, it was beautiful. That needs to happen more often. Who was it? Sean Payton kind of ripped one of my buddies. Now, my buddy sent me the video. His name's Alex. Alex had a brain fart. And that's the bad thing about when you're Alex, I love you. And the fact that you own this makes me want to play this. And I'm not making fun of you. I'm kind of a little bit. But he had a brain fart and accidentally said something wrong. He said something about it was reported that blah, 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 blah. And then Coach Sean Payton's just like, I'm the one that reported that.
Coach, it was reported that quarterback Bo Nix was hanging out with your old quarterback.
It wasn't reported. I stated it 3 days ago. Gosh, your own little internet shows are driving me crazy. Listen, Bo Nix, if you were here 2 days ago, you would have heard me say he spent some time with Breeze. So it was reported. Keep going.
How is that improved? It makes it different?
No, just what I said 3 days ago.
Dude, that sucks. It sucks, by the way. That sucks. Alex, I love you. I love you. Alex with the final word. Check him out on Mile High Sports. He sent me that when it happened. This was like a month ago. And that was the first time I've played it since then. But those things happen. You make mistakes. But the reason I play that is coaches are starting to get a little bit more irritated, at least when it comes to Sean Payton and Deion Sanders. Call out the media when they make a mistake, if we make a mistake, or if we're doing something that's improper. It needs to happen. You got to hold their feet to the fire. And it all that's doing is shaking them into understanding, be more accountable. If you say something, own it. And kudos to Alex Ramirez for doing that. He had the balls to be like, oh my God, I fucked up. Why'd I do that? He knew, and I could only imagine how cold his body went because all that blood just went to his feet or something. They went somewhere else. He's just sitting there going, because every fucking media member nerd is staring at him going, why would you say that? Why? Why would you say that? You know he said that, right? Fuck. But good for Deion Sanders for calling out the media. Good. And I thought he did it in a somewhat polite way. Like, if you're going to say shit, say it right, but make sure you get it right. Quit worrying about being first. He just dick slapped him right across the face. All the media members in that press room walked away with a mushroom bruise. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Sorry, I took it dirty. Sorry, Coach Prime. So, my luck, somebody from his staff is listening. They're like, oh, I like that the Huff is defending him. Maybe we leave out the last part. Let's leave out the last part. Burnham Yard is the desired location for the Denver Broncos' new stadium. That was released yesterday. And I was going to play sound from the ownership group talking about it, but they have so much music in the background. It's annoying. But it kind of reflects what you and I had been talking about for several months, where they're looking to build like a big complex, like a neighborhood, something that is 365, where it's not just for football games, but they're going to have, and it's this old abandoned rail yard. It's, I believe, just southeast of where the current stadium is. It's exactly what I would want them to do. They're staying within the city, pretty darn close. They're going to be working with businesses. They made a reference to that. I don't know if that means the existing businesses that are around Mile High Stadium, and seeing if they can move them as well. I hope that's the case. I hope so. But it sounds like this probably won't happen for, say, another 5 years or so. There's a lot of planning that goes into this. Anybody that's dealt with construction in any capacity, you know how much planning goes into it. And even once you start digging holes and laying foundation, there's so many hoops that you got to jump through. I always remember that with restaurants when we were opening a new restaurant, and it's like, it's supposed to open in October. It ends up opening in December, something like that, if not longer. Shoot, there's a P.F. Chang's off 144th here in Westminster area that got tied up for, whether it was because P.F. Chang's has that giant horse. There was like city regulations on how high certain things can be. There's that issue. Then there's like rumblings of other issues that they're running into. That's just what happens with construction. So imagine once this ball gets rolling, once they officially say, is Burnham Yard going to be, pen to paper, this is going to be it. Even though they'll get that rolling, it's still gonna, you gotta clear the space. There's a lot of old rail tracks there. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be distributed across to either being refurbished or melted down or whatever. And then they can start building. So they got to scrape and then build. And it's exciting. I think there's a lot of great opportunity for that. What shouldn't go in that complex? Strip clubs. Come on. As much as it would do well, don't do that. But imagine there's going to be a lot of restaurants. There's going to be bars. There's going to be, I would imagine, some, it would be nice if they had some facilities like for kids. Like, have you ever been to Activate? There's an Activate here in Westminster again. I believe at the Orchard is where it's at, and they do, and it's a fun, sporty type thing. I could see something like that going in there, and other things, making it more of a fun, nice place to go. Like I said, that they said it's going to be a 365 type of thing that you can go, even though it's at the Broncos off season. That's a place to go. It'll be interesting to see what they do with, or are they going to have some side athletic venues of some sort? I don't know. And then it's going to be interesting. What do they do? Are they just scraping the old stadium? God, it's such a waste when you think about it. It's only like, 21 years old, something like that, that stadium. It still looks good when you go in there. That's what's crazy to me and seemingly wasteful. But that being said, they're going to pay for it. So go ahead. It's your money. Why not? And that's going to benefit the community. And it's taking something that has just been sitting there and is just bleh and making it something meh. Yeah. I like it. You tell me. You happy about it? I'm glad they're staying in Denver, and it's not on the outskirts of Denver where it's questionable. I like it. I know some people are going to be pissed, but I haven't seen a good reason why. I haven't seen a good reason why at all. You know what we need to do? Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Dougie Doug. Dougie Doug. Favorite name to say. You guys need to start coming up with your own like little nicknames. Okay, JR Slick. That's great. It's adorable. Maybe spice it up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Matt OFP. Come on. OFP. Maybe it's on me. JR Slick. Dougie Doug. Dougie Doug just sounds like a DJ, man. He's been rocking the rave. Dougie Doug. Oh, ow. Sorry. Dougie Doug has a question for Ozzy DeHuff. Oh, great. This is fantastic. All right, DeHuff, read me the message. It says, Ozzy DeHuff, did you see that 1.4 tons of cocaine, I'm listening, was found floating in the Pacific Ocean 1,000 miles off the coast of El Salvador? Why, Dougie Doug, why'd you send that to Ozzy? Yeah, that's messed up. Where'd you say it was again? In, El Salvador. Okay. Make my way out there. I gotta get my passport. I'll be good. We found that. Why am I making fun of that Ozzy has a coke problem? That's terrible. That's not funny. Well, I'm laughing at it, so I guess it is. The Salvadorian president said the floating packages were valued at $35 million. That's crazy. It's, with the ocean being so big, I wonder how often that stuff happens, or there's other miscellaneous things that just people find. That'd be a weird thing to stumble upon. All that, cocaine. I was reading something today. Do you know there's people that think Cocaine Bear, as far as like if you ever watched the movie, which is a fun movie. We actually own it. I've watched it maybe 10 times. I love Cocaine Bear. But obviously they took a story and then they stretched the truth tremendously. There's people that think Cocaine Bear went on a killing spree in real life. That's not the case. They just found a bear that got into one of those duffel bags full of cocaine and his heart just couldn't handle it. It's not real. It's not real. It's not like he was just like, he's addicted to coke. It's Cocaine Bear. He's addicted to cocaine and he's going to have a blast ripping people's throats out. All right. Cocaine Bear. It's a funny movie. Who is the lady that directed it? I can't remember her name. Oh, it's the lady that, I can't think of it, but she did a great job. But it's not real, folks. Not real. But cocaine sharks, those could be. We did have a study, what was it, last year, cocaine sharks, because this stuff happens so often where there was like traces of cocaine in sharks found. And doesn't that kind of, we talk about radioactive shrimp from Thailand, which I had shrimp the other day. It was frozen shrimp from Walmart. Totally worth it if it was radioactive. Delicious. My wife made this pasta she got some cooking wine and some other stuff. I don't know how she made it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the shrimp. Oh my God, that's my thing. I love shrimp. If I were to say any seafood item is my favorite, it's got to be shrimp because there's so much meat in there. I like the taste of crab. It's just too much work. Lobster's okay. I visited Maine like 12 years ago, and the seafood out there really good, and they give you a hefty portion, at least back then, of lobster when you got lobster. But that being said, if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with shrimp. Love shrimp. Shrimp. You got coconut shrimp, mustard shrimp, onion shrimp, popcorn shrimp. I just veered off. But it makes you wonder, like you have these contamination. You got cocaine floating all over the ocean. You got radioactive shrimp because of where they're being cleaned and how they're being cleaned and who knows what else. It just really makes you wonder what the fuck you're putting in your body. But that's why I just am blind to reality and enjoy my food. It's delicious when you're oblivious. It is. And I like it. I'm Scott DeHuff, and I'm oblivious to reality. Ding. Good times. Ooh, tomorrow is Thursday. Let's try to get a lot of interaction with you guys. If you could send me in random topics, random stories, whatever, whether it's responding to a story we did this week, please go ahead. Whatever it is, interact with me. You can either send me a direct message. If you're on Spotify, just leave a comment. I know, I'll bring up Carl sent something on Spotify in regards to one of the episodes. I'll bring that up tomorrow. Feel free to jump in on that. Doesn't matter what episode it is within the past week or two. We'll go ahead and respond to those. Those are always fun. Whatever, or you can hit me up, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or direct message, or on my timelines at DeHuff Podcast on socials. We'll have some fun with that. We'll get some more character involvement. Dougie Doug, thanks for asking Ozzy a question. And now Ozzy apparently is getting his passport, heading to right around the coast of El Salvador, looking for cocaine. If I read that right. Is that right? Right. Jesus Christ. If you work in the media, don't worry about being first. Be correct. I know there's not as much money in that. There's not, but that's the right thing to do. Watch out for drones. Don't be trying to shoot your guns at a freaking drone up in the air or a glowing drone. I shouldn't say drone, like a UAP. Because guess what? If it's a UFO, it can withstand a Hellfire missile. You throwing a rock at it isn't going to do shit. Or your BB gun or your 22, whatever. Let's see. If a pet lizard gets loose and makes its way up a tree, don't ask a first responder to get it. They got other shit to do. Could you imagine if somebody's life was put in jeopardy because first responders were busy helping get little Timmy's stupid iguana from a tree? That's annoying. Be ready for Uber helicopters. I think that could be kind of fun. A little nerve-wracking, but kind of cool. Thanks so much for supporting the show. Really do appreciate you guys. Whether you're listening or watching, please, if you could, interact with the show. It does help with the algorithm. Big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Check them out. Check out the goat at Roof Goat USA. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys are amazing. Have a great rest of the day. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.